April is National Social Security Month. It's been a long-time tradition for people to retire at age 65. But before leaving the workforce for good, there are a few things to think about. Financial professional Brett Gottlieb joins us to talk about 4 of the most common myths. Brett, so nice to see you today. Thank you for joining us.
Great to see you, Maria.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the 4 most common myths when it comes to Social Security. Myth 1, obviously, Social Security alone will provide me with enough income in retirement. Let's talk about that.
So, yeah, a lot of people think, hey, I get to retirement, I've paid into this system for a long time, and I'm going to have a significant benefit from Social Security, when in fact, Social Security is only going to cover about 30 to 40% of your income that you were used to collecting. So on average right now, the Social Security benefit most people collect is about $1,543, and that really has a lot to do with when people collect. Obviously, if you start earlier at 62 or even 60 if you're a widow versus waiting until 70 where it's the maximum you can get, that's going to have a weight on that. But ultimately, yeah, we're not really covering a large enough benefit. If you needed $4,000 or $5,000 a month to live on, you need to make sure you're saving in your 401k plans and your retirement accounts and preparing, because Social Security is just not going to cover all of it.
It's just not enough. I actually signed on just to take a look, and you were saying that for each year, 62, 65, 67, 70, it increases, but it's still just not enough to live, especially in this state. A lot of people think that they should claim their Social Security at the age of 62. Again, may not be enough for you to really survive on.
Yeah, it's very common. People think, hey, I'm 62, I'm now eligible, I can collect my benefit. The problem is you're getting a 30% reduction in benefit from your full retirement age benefit. And so the full retirement age for most people nowadays is 66 to 66 and 2 months or 4 months. It's all based upon the year you were born. And you can even wait all the way till 70. So a quick example, if I was supposed to get $1,000 a month at 66 and I choose to take it at 62, 30% reduction, I'm only going to get $700 a month. Versus the opposite end of that equation, if I wait until 70, it's an 8% growth every year, so that's 32% additional. So now I get $1,320 a month. So there's a big difference there. The other issue with people filing a lot of times at 62 is there's something called the earnings test. And if you're still working and collecting, you might not actually even get your Social Security. So there's a whole set of strategy you have to really understand and think about.
And there's a lot of people who think, it is too early for them to even think about it. I'm going to give away my age. I'm 48. It is not too early for me to start thinking about those kinds of things, correct?
No, it's not. For people that it's going to be a while before you need Social Security, the main thing for you to focus on is really making sure that the IRS is reporting the correct information to Social Security when you file your taxes each year. So you want to go on to socialsecurity.gov, you want to get your statement each year, check it, make sure that the benefit amount seems to be on the right path. It'll give you an idea of what you can expect down the road. And then specifically for those that are maybe 5 to 10 years out, it may still seem like a long ways, but there are so many factors in Social Security. I mean, we write about it on our blog all the time of really trying to help people out of, hey, what should you do? When should you think about it? The system has changed a lot in the last couple years, and it will change even more for those of us, like yourself and myself that are, in our 40s. It'll be a while before we need it, but we still want to make sure at least the information is being reported correctly.
Absolutely. And there's a 4th myth that people often think. They think that they can figure out their Social Security strategies on their own, but really they should get somebody to help them, right?
No question. So Social Security is extremely complex. Whether you're single, married, divorced, you're a widow, you have children later in life where you're over 62 and they're under 18, there's benefit options available. There's hundreds of choices. And so you should work with a financial advisor. We actually do multiple webinars and seminars. You can check it out at comprehensiveadvisor.com and really look for ways to work with someone that can explain them, because a lot of times I'll meet somebody who says, hey, I spreadsheeted it out. I put down the different options. If I take it at 62 versus 70, yeah, but what about the tax implications? What about your health history? What about these other strategies that might be available to you? Taxes in general are going up. Does it make sense to live on your IRA versus your Social Security when we know Social Security is going to grow at 8% every year that you wait? So a lot of different choices. You really want to work with somebody that knows this stuff inside and out to make sure you make the correct choice and you file what's best for you for your planning.
I mean, it's really about arming yourself with the knowledge. So even just logging on and finding out where you stand, because it actually details it for you, and at least you can talk to somebody about what would be best in the future, correct?
That's correct. In fact, to give you an idea, yes, it details it out, but it's also just estimates. It assumes that you're going to have the same amount of income that your last reported year of earnings was every single year consistently until you start. It also assumes no inflation on the statements.
Right.
So there's actually a bit of an overestimate and an underestimate. That's why there's special software that really helps people kind of nail it down more closely.
All right, Brett, and I guess at the end of this all, really the bottom line is get yourself a professional. We appreciate your time, as always. I know that that is very helpful information for so many who are watching out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.